Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to Play This at My Funeral, the podcast about music and life and death. I'm your host, Dina Susan Alabade, and I'm so happy you've landed here in our little corner of the world because we're getting into some deep existential conversations. So buckle up. I hope you're ready to tear away any sort of avoidance you have about going deep, getting real, and the nitty-gritty ins and outs of being a human person that is existing right now, and discovering some amazing new music and hearing fantastic stories from folks just like you or me. That's enough of me. Let's get on with the show. Hello again. Welcome to Play This at My Funeral. I have a very special guest from the foodie world joining us today. And I am realizing also that this guest is the person who's known me the longest, who I've ever had on the show so far. Please welcome Jeremy Jacobowitz. Hi, Jeremy.
I'm making motions as if people that are listening to this can see me. Hello, how are you?
He's raising the roof, y'all, if you're not watching this on YouTube. He's throwing it back to the 90s, and we're going to talk a lot about the 90s, I think. You're such a 90s kid.
I'm 38. I'm a 90s kid. That's it. I mean, I guess early 2000s, really, but I still consider myself a 90s kid.
I think if you like the music from the early 2000s, you're a 90s kid because you were old enough to start really appreciating it.
That's true.
For those of you who don't know, and I mean, like, you've been living under a rock, Jeremy, aka Brunch Boys, maybe you know him as Brunch Boys, is a food influencer, a host, a film producer. He has his own new podcast. And I mean, for me, you're the most influential foodie persona in my world. But also, like, dare I say, when I follow your food adventures on Instagram and all of your platforms to your over 1 million strong audience, you're giving millennial Anthony Bourdain. And I'm just like,
millennial.
Yes.
I would love for people to feel a little bit more Gen Z in my content. Obviously, looking at me, I'm not, but the content's for everyone. You could be a boomer, a Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I would love for my content to reach everyone, but certainly the core audience and who I am in me is definitely millennial. And, anytime you mention Bourdain is the highest compliment. So thank you.
I mean, I want to reclaim millennial because I don't think it's a bad thing and it gets associated with a bad thing. I think I'm just like saying you're a millennial Bourdain, but your content is very appealing.
It is not a bad
all
thing,
ages.
But as anyone in media knows, you got to keep growing. You got to keep getting younger, and you need to, I think I got that core millennial group. I think I'm there. I look at the numbers and I'm like, it's funny, as Gen Z gets older, I think they discover me because then they're still Gen Z, but now Gen Z is 30 years old or something. And now I think my content makes more sense to them. I think if you're a 20-year-old, you watch my content, it's food, it should relate, but I think the voice coming out of it maybe doesn't make more sense. And as you get older, you can appreciate me better, hopefully.
I like that you said that. And I mean, you want to stay relevant, not necessarily young, but relevant because I look at Fran Lebowitz and Shakira, and I'm like, these people are not the typical youthful pop culture demographic, but they're doing the damn thing. And food definitely brings us all together, and I love that. So you're a foodie through and through. Oh, and I didn't even say, okay, so why has Jeremy known me the longest? Jeremy and I actually went to school together. I'm a Brooklyn kid, and my parents plucked me from Carroll Gardens in the middle of 6th grade and dropped me into the most beautiful little suburb in Westchester County called Irvington. And Jeremy was a year below me. And I remember you as this quieter kid, always very tall and quiet.
Definitely tall. Definitely quiet too, but tall is tall also.
Everyone's taller than me. This is the thing. Whenever I say someone's tall, people feel like it shouldn't count because I'm 5 feet tall. But you're
I'm
tall
6
by
feet.
any.
I think it counts. Yeah, that counts. Yeah.
Tall by any standards. I'm scared to ask you what you remember of me in high school, but I'll be vulnerable. What do you remember of me from high school?
I don't remember anything about anything from high school. This is no offense to you. Okay. My brain, people could ask me about college. My brain, I don't know if it's just, a lot of it is I think that our brains are not meant to live the life that we are, especially if someone has to live their life online. I am literally like, I have to see the views of so many people, whether it's DMs or comments or threads or videos or whatever. And it's force fed into my brain every day where my brain is just fried. Like I had my 20th high school reunion a month ago or whatever. And like when I
You
went back to,
went?
oh yeah, I went. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I won't go. I refuse.
I went to my 10th high school reunion.
I didn't go to any of them. The 10th, I was in Istanbul, so I had a good excuse.
But it's like, the memories then flood back. So they're there
Yeah.
somewhere. And what's crazy too, and the same with you though, it's like everyone looks the same. Everyone really
Yeah.
does look the same, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like people say that and you're like, how could someone look the same at 18 as 38? But truly, like I think 30 people showed up and there are only a few people that like looked old. And I think, we're aging gracefully, which is nice.
So you're a foodie. What does music mean for you? What place does it hold in your life?
I kind of go in and out, like in terms of like when I actually listen to music. I think just generally as you get older, you discover less and less music. Like truly, like how do I discover new music? Is TikTok, like trending songs, and
Oh,
that's how I hear it. Because there's no radio, and even if there was radio, I mean there is radio, but you know what I mean. Like I'm not listening to the radio.
yeah, you don't drive. So,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't drive, so it's like I have my
yeah.
Spotify, and like I'm not the person. It's like let me hear the newest songs on Spotify. I'm like, no, give me the same artist over and over and over again. If they have a new album, I'm very excited for it.
Okay.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to be like, hey, let me check out someone new. So that's why, as you'll see, a lot of it's locked into the '90s still, I guess,
Oh,
2000s
yes.
still, and that's it. So it's like I go back and forth. When a new album comes out, I'll get into it and like listen to it over and over again. Like I'm a big person when I work out that listens to podcasts, so I don't really listen to music there either.
Well, here at Play This at My Funeral, we're all about new music discovery. So you got to give a couple episodes a listen and see if maybe we can break through. I can get you to listen to like Rosalia or Saint Laurent or some of the like cool new people, Leon LaHava, some cool new people that are.
You could just be saying words right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not even saying artist names. I'm just making up my own language, Jeremy. Before I asked you to come on to the show, had you ever given any sort of thought to what you would want your funeral to be like, what music you would want to honor your life?
No, thinking about death gives me panic attacks. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. You did agree to do this of your own volition.
well,
Everyone,
we don't need to get too deep into the death part. I guess everything else I'm happy to talk about.
whatever you're comfortable with.
No, not really. I haven't thought about it. To me, like I could barely think about stuff that I want to do next week. So the thought of something that hopefully is a very long time away, is not top of mind.
Okay, all right. I kind of like this because a lot of the guests I have on end up like thinking about it so deeply. So you
No, I went through your questions. Be prepared for there not to be super deep answers to any of these.
That's okay. It's giving Elise Merlot episode 4, season 1, because she was like, I didn't think that hard about it. I just love this song. So that's the beauty of it. We have all flavors of people. So how did you approach making the playlist, given that you weren't thinking too deeply about the reason?
Yeah, I didn't think deeply at all about what actually plays my funeral. I was like, let me think. I went, and when you said chronological order, I think that's why like made me think about that. I was like, okay, let me actually go back and what music actually meant something more to me at a particular time in life, more than like what was a favorite song, what was this, what was that. It's like let me kind of think about chronologically, like what did I like, and then did that like mean anything at any certain point? Does it bring me back? Like, I do think like I'll hear certain songs and like I'm instantly transported there. And that's sort of the way I approach it. It's like when I hear this song, where am I when I close my eyes? And then I kind of built it that way for the most part.
And it is in like chronological order of your life, your memory.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, you're such a 90s kid. There's some really amazing choices from like the TRL
Well, I already forgot. I was
time
thinking
of
about
it.
this right before
Yeah.
getting on. Sorry to screw up everything already. I
No,
do think I
go.
missed. I think only because I have a funny story with it too. I was trying to think like what was the first like music I was really into, and I do think I missed the one thing. I want to say probably now Hootie and the Blowfish was probably like the first, which I didn't
Oh,
add to this. Um, yeah.
Well, it's your playlist. You can add and
Oh,
change at
that's
any time.
I'll go through it. And then, like, also, like, even going through the songs, like, I think I'm a big, like, album person, so a lot of what I
Mm.
did was, like, I went to the for the most part, went to the album and then was like, "Okay, what song makes sense?" And then that's why I just kinda pick stuff, like, it really when I'm talking about these things, it's like, is that album more so than the song maybe, but they all sort of make sense. So, yeah, like, I guess who do you be first? I don't know. Again, when you're like, "What do you remember at high school?" I don't remember anything. So this is a very hard game.
Um, okay, a challenge through and through. Okay, Hootie and the Blowfish, like to be examined later, which song you would want to add.
Yeah.
I did notice you have what I'm calling couplets. You had two songs from so many artists. You had like two Rob
Mm.
Thomas and Matchbox 20s. You had two Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. You had two The Weeknd. You had two Coldplay. It was just so interesting. And now that I know that you went album by album, I think that makes sense if they were super important for you that you have
Right.
a couple from each.
And clearly that's telling you that, like, I don't discover new music. Because it's like, I
That
got the Matchbox 20 song from 2000, and I got the Rob Thomas song from 2025. It's because there's people that I listen to don't change over the years. My Spotify Wrapped is exactly the same every single year.
Wait, what's your Spotify Wrapped age?
It actually said, I think it said 31. I really don't know how. Um, because you would think it'd be older, but, like, yeah, I guess it's, like, close enough, and some of the music makes me a little younger, but
You're
yeah.
so youthful, Jeremy. Mine was 72, but I do a lot of like oldies listening. My kid loves Lilo and Stitch, and there's a lot of Elvis on that
Mm.
soundtrack. And yeah, just 72 at heart.
Well, like, thinking about the game too, and kind of again, my approach was like, what did this mean to me in the moment? I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of artists that I like that are older or like would have been older, I guess. But because I had discovered them later, it didn't feel like as important. Like there are bands now to like, I've gone through like Nirvana and Beastie Boys stuff like I really, really, really love. But I'm like, I discovered this stuff later where it didn't have the impact of like this new thing coming out that I was listening to. So I kind of skipped those.
Oh, that's really interesting because I mean, like, even if you discovered them later, if they're important enough. Nirvana and Beastie Boys. Oh, that would have been, I'm curious about what you would have chosen from those two. I'm really
All right,
curious.
I'll go back. So I gotta go a bit more
That's
from this, I
okay.
guess.
You know what? That's the beauty of it. And I wonder if you'll be the same, but I feel like everyone that comes on, they end up like texting me weeks later, like, Dina, I'm still changing it.
Yeah, I'm also listening to my old to the playlist.
Good. I'm listening to your playlist too. Well, again, part of why I love doing this show is like very selfishly, I'm discovering so much new music. And I like Coldplay a lot. And Coldplay has had a year in 2025.
Yep.
Just like
Well, I
such
had
a
friends
beauty.
being like, when all that came out, friends were like, "They still sell at stadiums." I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I
Yeah,
fucking tell you." Like, I'm not like this idiot guy that keeps
you're
loving
not.
Coldplay. Like, they literally are stadium band still.
I feel like if people don't appreciate Coldplay and they make fun of Coldplay, they don't get it because Coldplay has such an incredible range of music and their music is beautiful. Like Yellow, Fix You, The Scientist, like Paradise. There are so many fun songs, and actually, Coldplay has shown up on a lot of my guests' playlists. And you have two songs again from them, Daylight and Coloratura, two
Mm,
songs I didn't know. But
mhm.
I just want to I could talk to you about Coloratura for hours because
It's not what you would expect from them.
no, it is a 10-minute, like, futuristic outer space symphony,
Yeah. Mhm.
like
Yeah.
opera.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
so cool.
Mhm.
And I've listening to it a lot because it's got this harp in it. And it's very like I just want to keep saying outer space. I feel like
Yes. That
I'm,
whole album, that, like, sums up that whole
yeah.
album too, so, like, that is the visuals with it also, yeah.
Yes. So, like, in this album, I did a little bit of research, but you probably know better than me. They created this universe with different planets, fictional planets, and characters, and it's telling a story. And Coloratura is a fictional planet. And it's like this almost brave new world utopia. And Coloratura, in our like human 2025 meaning, is this operatic style of singing where you're like doing these runs, you're like running through all the notes in this beautiful way. And I mean, I hope everyone goes and listens. If you only listen to one song from Jeremy's playlist, please listen to Coloratura by Coldplay because it is an out of this world
And it's
experience.
probably it's definitely like the deepest track. I think most of these songs
Yeah.
most people know. That's the only one that's like no one probably heard that one.
Well, that's not true because I feel like the
Rob
Rob
Thomas. Yeah,
Thomas
Rob
one
Thomas.
is,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
was really fun. But yeah, staying on Coldplay and Coloratura, like there was a line in it as well that I thought was so, it just like summed it all up. Listen, I don't want to play favorites, but this song is my favorite on your list, hands down. It's like so cinematic. I feel like I'm floating past all the celestial bodies and the Milky Way. I'm just like, thank you for bringing it into my life. But this line, in the end, it's all about the love you're sending out. And you said this is the deepest song for you on the playlist. Like, tell me about what the meaning is for you.
I think again, like a lot of these things, like I'm not a person that like listens to lyrics necessarily. They get into my brain and they certainly like color the world of what that song is. But I'm not like, oh, this particular thing, this particular thing. It's more like, what did this mean to me when I was listening to it? And what are that again, like when I close my eyes, where does it bring me to? And you think like that whole album and that whole song was like, just listen, like I deal with like depression, anxiety, it's all up and down and whatever. And a lot of music sort of like plays into that. And this album, like when I was listening to it over and over and over again, was just like when I just like really wasn't feeling well. And it was also like I went back to therapy. I did like ketamine therapy too. And this song too sort of represents like I closed my eyes and I just think about this days and like wasn't feeling well. And ketamine therapy is something too, like if you want to know what ketamine therapy is is sort of like, listen
Oh,
to the
let's say,
song.
oh,
Honestly. Listen, I could go deeper about that. It wasn't as like nice, I guess, as ketamine therapy isn't not meant to be fun. It's therapy. But like in terms of like just because it's the same time period and sort of like the same like bringing you like I literally under ketamine when I was under ketamine like felt like I was on a different planet. And listening to this sort of like tries to make you feel that way too. So it sort of all connects at the same time.
okay. I mean, that's a first. If you are just curious about what ketamine therapy is like, just listen to Coldplay's Coloratura.
And if you want to know what the visuals are like, there's all these like visual experience things they have now. Like this started in
Okay.
Japan at the Tokyo Lab stuff, and I know they do a lot of them. Some of those rooms I walk into and I'm like, holy shit, no, this is exactly what it was like. Oh my God.
Just a little throwback memory to those times. This song is great. It's really beautiful. I also am realizing that you had a lot of songs by some like polarizing people.
So that was another game I played where what's interesting
Yeah.
is I think the first thing to put on there was Diddy. And he
Yeah.
wasn't on the list, but then I watched the documentary.
Spoiler alert, this is a spoiler alert because from here on out, Jeremy is revealing a lot of details from the P. Diddy documentary that you wouldn't know if you didn't watch it. So, this is your official warning. Stop right now, go watch the documentary and come pick it up, or keep on rocking.
And I was like, "Oh, shit." I mean, first of all, we'll talk about him and Kanye together because that's definitely the other
Hmm.
person to talk about.
Hmm.
And it was like I was like, "Oh, you know what? That really was, like, one of the first songs I remember, like, being just a big song and, like, getting me into that world and how I remember him." But then, yeah, so basically, like, what's interesting too is, like, I really hadn't listened to Kanye in years. 808s is my favorite album of all time. But I hadn't listened to him in years because I was just like, I don't want to listen to him. I don't wanna listen to it. Um, and it kinda watching the Diddy thing actually made me come back around to Kanye and I listened to 808s for the first time in a while. 'Cause it kinda just determines that listen, I don't think either one of their music should be played commercially. I think it's a
Hmm.
joke that
Okay.
Michael Jackson has a Broadway show about him. I think like I think if you wanna listen to their music, I don't really care what you do in your own space. If you wanna play Spotify or do whatever, like, I really don't care. But I don't think that we should be celebrating all these people necessarily.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
hard.
Did he kill like 20 people?
Oh my God. I
And
did not see the documentary
no,
and
I don't
I'm
wanna
like
spoil too much, but
well, spoil we'll put a little spoiler alert before this section. No, I mean, you took the question right out of my mouth, which is like, how do you personally approach controversial artist? Do you separate the art from the artist? And it sounds like you do. And I mean, I feel like I'm the same way
But I
because
don't but I don't know if I do because, like, I hadn't listened to
yeah,
Kanye in years, but I think, like,
yeah,
to act like it wasn't such an inspiration to me is not fair and insane, like, it truly was. And I think, like and also watching a Diddy doc made me realize was that Diddy is a bad person, and his music is not that great anyway. We could kick into the curb, frankly. Kanye is a deeply disturbed person that is clearly not well when he's off his meds and clearly not well when he's around the wrong people. And someone with that type of issue, I think, is very different than someone's like who's bad at their core. So it maybe reappreciate him a little bit. And he has been trying to rehabilitate himself, I guess. So give him credit. I think when people are trying, you give them credit.
yeah. I I feel like, when I saw this Kanye song on your list, which is Coldest Winter, I immediately recognized the album cover because I think this is his best album because he's actually singing. I have a song from this album on my playlist, Streetlights. I like to say that all of Kanye's best songs have the word lights in them. All of the lights, street lights, flashing lights. No, this album is really like when he's just an artist singing, thinking existentially, it's poetic and it's deep and the music is really beautiful and like he's not my cup of tea even before any controversy. But this album is really interesting. So like Coldest Winter, what does that song hold for you? Why did you feel like compelled to put this on here?
Again, it's going back to like the song versus the album. It's really more the
Okay.
album than anything.
Okay.
Um, And it just like I kinda went through tracks, and again, I went through tracks and I closed my eyes. I'm like, "Which one, like, takes me there the most?" And it's kinda just like it came out in '08, maybe '07, and it was
Okay,
like
that sounds right.
I was like at NYU, being in New York City, like, if I close my eyes, it is February of '09 or whatever year it is, and, like, I'm sitting there waiting for the subway and it's freezing, and it's just like and, listen what's I would listen to that on, like, going out too, so it's like, listen to that song, like, pre-gaming, on the way, whatever I was doing, and then those songs would then be playing wherever it was at too, so just, like, this fully encompassing, like, everything from it, and I think it's you have those songs that feel like more fun songs, but truly it's not. Like, I think this album was, like, right after his mom died. And I think the whole thing was, like, he, like, went to Hawaii, locked himself in a fucking studio with, like, one of the 808 machines and, like, did this album for, like, a
Oh.
month or whatever it was. Um, so, like, yes, there's, like, this intensity and rawness and actuality to all the songs there, uh, which hits on a different level. And then too, there's just, like, good, fun sounding songs also that, like, bring me back to all those moments.
What a picture you painted, like winter in New York City in 2008, 2009. Like, what a different place that was.
Yes.
And just like the early, like that era, that like 10-year span, 2008 to like 2016 in New York was just, I think, peak New York City. It's just so
And everyone says that about the like, it depends on how old you are.
about their
Yes.
time.
Yes, exactly. That's why everyone's like, "New York City isn't the way it used to be." It's like, it's never the way it used to be.
It's never.
That's just what it is. It's always different, and that's, like, the joy of the city. Even when you miss the times, like, listen, I feel that same way, you walk around and everything's completely different, and the places you remember are gone, but that's New York. You gotta love it or leave it, I guess.
Yes, that's true. And the thing is though, there are so many places that persist that,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
haven't changed storefronts, which is such a testament to good times, but I love that. So, going back to Rob Thomas and the two songs you have Matchbox 20's Unwell,
Mhm.
and you have Rob Thomas All Night Days, which is
Yeah.
from a very recent solo album.
Came out this year. Yeah, yeah,
Came
this year.
out this year. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And he's like a Westchester guy, right?
He's a Westchester boy. Yep,
He's a
yep, yep.
Westchester guy. And I obviously know Unwell because that was really like just such an earworm for our childhood. But All Night Days was really a fun song. And he says he wrote it during the pandemic. And it's sort of this balance between, oh, remember when we would just like sleep all day and party all night and we're having so much fun and I wish I could be that wild again, but also a bit of acceptance with aging. And this is the last song on your playlist.
Yeah.
And I want you to talk a little bit about why this is the closer.
Sure. I mean, really, it's a closer because again, I went in chronological order and just came out.
Okay.
But I
All
think
right,
it did.
fine.
But I think it did. But I think it does make sense anyway because it truly is like that idea of like I am feeling older and like you said, like this is his song of like oh I remember those things and I love those things, but also I am old now and things are different. And it's and a lot of this album, if you listen to a lot of the songs, it's sort of like that thing of like accepting being older and certainly like at 38, you're facing different things, you're facing different reality, you're whatever. And it sort of connected to me on that. Like, listen, I still live in New York City. I'm still going out, but things
Yeah.
are different. And you do have to like, you're always going to pine for those old days and love those things, but also realize that like things have changed. And like, if you, I think if you don't accept it, you're going to be miserable. And it's like finding the joys of the past and the current is really important.
Oh, I like that a lot. It's sort of like taking stock of where you are, not pretending to be somewhere in a period of time that you're not, but like enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah.
I was at, I live in New Jersey now. I didn't know if you know that. I'm a suburban mom in New Jersey. I mean, like, who am I? It's really bad. I went from growing up in Carroll Gardens to like being in central New Jersey. It's fine. It's fine. I've accepted it. But I was at my friend's place for up like an intimate birthday dinner at her house last night in Asbury Park. And I got home at like 11. And I was like, who am I? I'm so tired. But being in that moment, having that like child-free moment of just like hanging out with friends, listening to music, eating good food, I was really appreciative for that. But I had to accept the reality that like I couldn't stay out till 2 a.m. I had to get home.
Right. Yeah. Like it's just different. And you always think you can, and you think you want
No.
to, and then you do it and you're like, I'm not about that life anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, it holds such a nostalgia like, oh, I wish I could go out dancing all night. I wish I could like walk around barefoot in Boston freshman year of college because I'm coming home from the club I shouldn't even be at, holding my boots and walking in snow, and that's fine. But I mean, that was also foolish. But yeah, I love that. I think you have a really good approach to aging. You have a really nice mix of like hip hop, some heavy metal. We would call it like new metal.
Well, I
There's
mean,
song bodies.
I was a
There's
middle school boy at one point.
yeah. Oh my. I know. What is with middle school boys and like metal? What is the appeal there?
Well, because you're just like you're angsty as shit, and like that is what that music is, you know.
And you want to talk about it, you want to scream about it.
Yes.
Oh, that's really funny. But I'm curious, like, so that all those songs take you back to sort of like middle school, early high school, and you have the Jay-Z Linkin Park mashup,
Oh
99
yeah, that
Problems,
it
and
has to be like a top 10 album, also.
oh, yeah. And you actually have two Jay-Z songs because you have Hard Knock Life.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, Jeremy.
No, but again, it's idea of like that was like the first one. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what led me into the
Yeah.
world of certainly not his whatever. He has a billion other songs and albums that are better. But like, what was that first thing that brought me into that world? And that was it.
Yeah. And when I was listening to your playlist and I heard that song, I went into a deep Linkin Park hole. And I like,
Mm,
Jeremy, I forgot how amazing Linkin Park was.
hmm.
Like, Linkin Park is so good.
Yep.
The balance of like soft and hard and slow and fast. And I was like, I feel like I started listening to it and I was just like thrown back to my senior homecoming, would have been your junior, where I was on the dance team and we like you put Faint into our like matchup for the homecoming dance that we performed. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to listen to this song all day long. It's so good. What album is that? The Linkin Park album. It's like on the tip of my
The
tongue.
one, the one I put on was I
Yeah.
forget it, yeah, but it was Hybrid Theory with Jay-Z. Is that what they called
Yeah.
it? What's
Yeah.
funny is I was at my friend's birthday party over the summer, and this song or one of the songs off that album came on, and her boyfriend had the control of the whatever the phone, and he like hit next, and I was like, "Don't you ever hit next on that song?" But he's probably 8 years younger than me, so to him, like he knew the song really didn't mean anything to him, and I was like, "Come on, this is peak. You can't skip this song."
This is number one TRL. This is the iconic music video. This is like forget Empire State of Mind, forget anything with Beyonce. Like, this is Jay-Z in his purest form, like OG Jay-Z.
Well, the other thing is like that album is so crazy because it had that sort of remix, the Black Album, but then I forgot the DJ's name is, but he did the Gray Album, which was mixed with the Beatles' White Album.
Oh.
And it's all, you got to just download on the internet.
I don't know it.
It never, like, it was like an underground thing, but it's incredible.
Okay, that is an action item for all of us. See, like, it's so hard not to talk in corporate tech terms. We all must do that. We all must find this Gray album and give it a listen. So it's not available on like any sort of music streaming.
No, because it was never like an official thing. It was just this DJ mixed it and put it on the internet 25 years ago or whatever.
Okay, add it.
He wasn't getting the rights to Jay-Z or the Beatles, so he just like released it for free because, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do the work for everyone listening. I'm gonna go find it and drop some links in the show notes. And the Linkin Park album is called Meteora, which I remembered from my brain, which I'm really proud of instead of just searching for it. So talk to me about Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. Like he's a triple threat. He can act, he can sing, he can dance. He's been like on Community, Magic Mike too. Like what can't he do? And his music, I feel like he's very popular, but I feel like if he doesn't have an album coming out, we don't really hear about him. And I think he should probably get more airplay. You included 2 pretty introspective tracks from him and Drake. I, The Worst of Guys, and Heartbeat. And Heartbeat is like a beautiful sounding song, but you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh, he is in a situationship and he needs to examine it with some friends. So why these 2 songs from Childish Gambino?
Again, I was sort of thinking of like, to me, he's like the most creative person that's ever existed, ever. Like the things that he has been a part of and created like mean so deeply to me on every level. From the music, from the TV shows, like Atlanta's one of the best shows ever, clearly. Like Community I love too, but he wasn't like a creative driving force in that necessarily. But Atlanta like is his thing, and it's just so unbelievably special. And what's fun about him too is like I think he was like a year or 2 ahead of me at NYU. So it, you know, originally when I found his music, the joke was like, you know, how many rappers like talk about being at NYU? So like I could like relate to him. You know what I mean? Like
true.
It's like, oh, here's this guy that like was going through. He's talking about some of the similar things that I was going through and feeling at the same time. And to see his music progress in his life, and a lot of like the last album too is like being a dad and connecting like that, which is so different than the first album, which is basically just about fucking because like it was a rap album that came out in 2010 or whatever the hell it is.
It's the basis of all life.
So it's nice sort of going on that journey and sort of like aging up with him. Not that I'm a dad necessarily, but like to see his growth is really cool. And The Worst Guys is on album that just like, I think it's his best album. I think like that album for me, when I want to feel creative, I put that album on. For whatever reason, it just like is that where I'm so driven because of his creativity and think like that album does the best job of portraying that. So it's like, oh, if I want to just like, I want to feel a little bit more creative this second. I turn that on and just like gets the juices going, which I really, really love.
And what album is that?
Oh, I don't remember names of anything. Which one was it? Is it Because of the Internet? I think that's one.
Oh, nice. So there's a lot to unpack there. I did not know about the show Atlanta. I think I heard of it, but I'm not familiar. So like need to check that out. I did not know that he went to NYU. Lady Gaga must have been at NYU as well with you because she's exactly my age. So she would have been just a year ahead of you.
Yep.
Jeremy, Donald Glover, Stephanie, like the 3 of you are just, NYU held so much talent in one time.
I'm sure there's a million more I'm forgetting.
I
also.
know.
That's the joy of NYU.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, say what you want about like quote elite schools, but I mean there's a lot of talent there and there's like a lot of nurturing of that type of creative exploration.
Well, I mean, you're just in New York City. I mean, that's why I wanted to go there.
Yeah,
I like really I didn't want to go to college. I was happy. I mean, I was happy to like learn and go to school. I just didn't want to go to college. And NYU certainly gave me that thing. Like to me, I was taking classes in New York City. That was my approach to college. And like I was working the whole time, interning the whole time. So like that's really what it affords you. You get to be like, I think Donald Glover's like, I think he was still, so basically, I believe he got started, he was writing Tracy Morgan jokes on 30 Rock.
No.
Yeah, he was like he was on the writing, he was like a writing intern or whatever the fuck, PA, whatever it was. And then he was like, his job was like write Tracy Morgan jokes on the show. And that's where he like got found and then ended up, I mean, he was doing stand-up and doing whatever at the time too. And then that's sort of like how he got to Community and then, really took off from there.
That's so cool. Yeah, again, this like moment in New York. Because like, didn't Aubrey Plaza get her start doing the tours at NBC, like the similar kind of
she was like a
internship?
page. Yeah.
A page.
Yeah.
Oh my, I forgot. You mentioned 30 Rock and I like the word dropped from my brain. So you have another song on here, another TRL chart climber that I could not stop laughing listening to the song. I was like, Jeremy, we're going to talk about it.
Which one?
We're going to talk about Limp Bizkit Nookie.
Oh, of course. Well, again, like Limp Bizkit was like the biggest bands in the whole world, and what was their number one song? It had to be Nookie. Even if again that might not be my favorite song they've done, but that song meant more to me than everything else because that was the huge, like the fucking red Yankees cap, that is the early 2000s to me, late 90s.
That is the epitome of teenage boyhood. That song. That music video. I was like, Jeremy, we're going to talk about the song. You put it on. I have a lot of questions, but it's just, I'm raising a boy and I'm like, can't wait for the middle school screamo angst and new metal. And then we'll just go straight to the Limp Bizkit equivalent, whatever that looks like in a decade. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. But you survive being a teenage boy. So
yeah, see, it all works out. I mean, you have to be, I mean, who's not emo in middle school? I don't know.
I mean, I'm emo, but my emo is like Damian Rice and Phoebe Bridgers. Just like sad
But in
girl
middle
music.
school, you would have been that person?
Oh, Jeremy, my middle school journals.
I'm saying this proves to you that I wasn't lying. I don't remember anything.
So many journals filled with emotional song lyrics that I was writing to all the boys I had crushes on. I was just like a boy crazy child.
Like who? Do I remember them?
Probably. There's only so many people. We're not going to name names on the show because it's like the smallest community of people that that this is going to be listened to by
Sure.
like one person. It'll go viral in Irvington, New York now.
You didn't even go to your reunion. What do you care?
I know. I don't care. We talked about Diddy for so long, but we didn't talk about the song.
Yeah.
And the song is I'll Be Missing You, which was this coming together of so many artists, not just him. Was it like Faith Evans?
And Sting.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, the instrumental, I'll be watching you. And I mean, this song is like very apropos for a funeral playlist.
Well, that's why. So again, I don't want to spoil this thing for you. The doc.
It's fine. I don't mind spoilers.
So there's evidence. I don't even want to say evidence, but it's like, did he also have fucking Biggie killed also? And like, was he ready to like jump on this whole thing and have this whole thing ready for him? Because that was his moment. Like, no one knew who Diddy was before this. He was like in different videos. Like the rap world kind of knew about him, but he wasn't this pop culture thing until Biggie died. And then he was like, I'm his best friend. Listen to the song I made for him. And that was how he exploded. Yeah, I think you should watch the doc. This is like every second of the doc is the face you just made. It's like, what?
Well, I have to watch the doc because of 50 Cent's joy in producing it. Like the 50 Cent memes, this is such a gift. The 50 Cent memes of like the glee he has of like, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just out here being a truth seeker. I mean, I would watch the doc for that alone. I'll find some time. I'll put it on my list.
Like 4 hours. It's like 4 episodes are each like an hour long or so. So it's like a 4-hour commitment.
Well, I already found time to watch the latest season of Emily in Paris. So, I mean, but that show is just like fun. It's like eating candy. You're just like looking at pretty clothes, looking at pretty people hooking up and making silly love mistakes. That's just, it's just a good time. Okay. So I'm curious. speaking of like polarizing, controversial, maybe like hated bands or artists, who is a band or artist that you defend to everyone, that you like love them no matter what? You don't care what anyone says.
And I think my whole list is that basically.
Anyone else that's not on the list?
Well,
No,
I mean,
yeah, you
the person we didn't
Maroon
talk
5.
I saw Maroon 5 in Japan. I'm telling you, man, like the people like want to hate on them. Like it's like anything too. Like when you see some live, like to see Adam Levine like perform live is insane, insane. Like the vocal range that he has, you on an album, like you could do it and whatever, like you could fix things on an album. To see him, and first of all, this is so crazy. So I was in Japan and I was going to see this like wrestling show by the Tokyo Dome. And I walked by and there's a big sign saying like Maroon 5 tonight. And I was like, oh, you know what? I've actually never seen them live. I've loved their music forever. This is like a sign. I have to get tickets for this. So the Tokyo Dome seats literally like 60,000 people.
Oh, wow.
And like 3 nights in a row, totally sold out. So I like, I found tickets in aftermarket, like I made it work, whatever.
Okay.
But I was asking my friend who was there, like it's not crazy that they sold as many tickets. Like they're so popular around the world. They have a Vegas residency, like whatever. But I was like, that's really like that's a lot of tickets.
Yes, it is.
And she was like, yeah, like they're just so big in Japan. She's like, Taylor Swift struggled to sell out the Tokyo Dome, and Maroon 5 sold it out overnight, three shows in a row. Like they're just gigantic, especially in Asia. So like this tour that they did, they raked in the money. So it was just like an Asia tour. They only did like giant stadiums. And then he has his own tequila brand. So at every like
of course he does.
Yeah, and at every like thing, a kiosk in the stadium, they're selling cocktails with his tequila. So he just like cashed in on this. But like their music is just lovely and nice, and like not every song is my favorite, but like again, like the music goes back so long of like where and when I have been listening to, like they're great. Yeah, everyone makes fun of Matchbox 20, but again, like Rob Thomas, I also saw him live last year. Like he is also still touring and selling out stuff. When his solo stuff, he little smaller venues compared to when they do Matchbox 20 together. But Matchbox 20 I saw at the Hollywood Bowl, and again, just like
cool.
That's such a special place
cool
to
location,
see anything.
Yeah.
And seeing them there was really, really awesome. I was the youngest person there who was not a kid of someone else that was there, but still.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to deny that Maroon 5 is a great band and that their music's iconic. Like I saw their tour, Songs About Jane, at UMass Amherst when I was a freshman in college in 2005, and they were great. And I actually had the privilege of being backstage for a Beacon Theater New York City show because I was doing PR for a brand that put on the show. And so I was like 6 feet away from Adam Levine in the backstage. But like he is the controversial one, like as a persona.
I mean, listen, he's not perfect.
No
But
one's perfect.
We've talked about a lot of people that are like really bad.
Yes. Songs About Jane was a great album.
That's probably still their best. I think when they're their most raw, and it's just sort of like not overproduced, and they just sort of let his voice shine, is when they're the best. And I find that sometimes they go too far, especially the middle albums were just like big and grand and all like a million like gimmicks where it's like, you don't need a gimmick. You have like the greatest voice ever. Just like let it shine.
He does have a good voice, huh?
Yeah.
That album was so good. It was like This Love, the Beauty Queen of Only 18 song. Oh my God, She Will Be Loved. She Will Be Loved is that song. Yeah. There's some really nice songs on that album.
But then the other person that we didn't talk about at all, which it's not controversial as music, but like certainly gets fucking clowns on, is Drake.
Oh yes. And Drake is also like child actor turned like R&B hip hop sensation. Like he's so popular. He's popular, but he does get clown. You're right. I like the way you put that.
Well, I mean, the Kendrick thing wasn't good.
I know.
He got just destroyed.
It was also
Which my defense, listen, I will never not admit that like Kendrick is more talented, but for the music that I enjoy more, I am a Drake fan more. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. It's you. It's your life. It's your music taste. It's your playlist.
How many other Jewish rappers do I have to look up to? That's it. I got him.
Lenny Kravitz, not a rapper,
He's the
but
voice a little bit.
Lenny Kravitz, not a rapper, but Jewish. And a talent. He's a talent. Yeah, talk to me more about Drake. Like, so you're just defending him nonstop. He's your guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he puts out actually too much music, and like when he does,
Oh.
it's like 100 songs. Like I finally every time he puts out an album, I was like 20 songs, and I'm like, dude, if this was 10 songs, you could have cut the fat, and we would have had just banger after banger after banger. But he just is nonstop. He's like, I'd rather just release singles, and then drop an album of 20 songs. But yeah, I mean, he was someone that like it was interesting of like how you discover new music, and like even though he's now been 15 years plus probably, but he was someone that like I kept hearing these songs and liking the songs, but I didn't connect that it was him at first. And then I finally like looked at the albums, like, oh my God, every one of these songs that I've been listening to is just Drake. And I was like, oh shit. So then that first album, first mainstream album, I think it's called Take Care. Um, yeah, that was just like, again, like, where am I in my life? It's like I was working for left sports TV, started working in food TV, and I was living at home in Westchester, and this is 15 years ago, whatever it was. And I would drive to set every day in Brooklyn, like that, and it was again like a winter, and like that was the album I listened to over and over and over and over, like every single drive to work, over and over and over and over again, and sort of just like set the stage of like, no, like I love his music, love his albums, love him.
I feel like the way you're defending Drake is the way people defend Taylor Swift. Like, people say she puts out too much music. She should
Really?
have cut the
Okay,
fat
yeah.
on Tortured
Oh, yeah.
Poets
Yeah, yeah.
department. But you know what? She and Drake don't have to answer to anyone because they're musicians and they're billionaires, and lucky them. And I mean, at the end of the day, all of us, can lean into the freedom of like doing what we want to do. But yeah, unapologetic about their music. All
Well,
right, Drake's
I
the
also
one.
it's interesting too, like, I have been rewatching the Drew Carey Show, which I hadn't seen since I was
Oh,
a kid. And this will make sense in a second.
okay.
So, they've been releasing 1 episode a day on YouTube every day.
Okay.
So, it hasn't been seen in years because they used so much real music that they didn't have the, full license
License.
for. So, it never went to streaming and never went on DVD. So, it's been kinda locked away for a good 25 years. But they worked out the licensing with some of them. They changed some music. They put out DVDs this year. They put on streaming, and they've been putting 1 episode a day. And I'm sitting there watching it, and it's sort of like we say this about a lot of TV shows, but it kind of makes sense. Like TV shows really have like a good 5-year run, and then it's kind of just like, for the most part, it's too much. You're just like, nah, they jumped the shark, whatever. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense for this show. And they went to 9 seasons, and I'm almost season 9 starts on YouTube today. I'll be doing this once we get off. But it's
Love it.
also at the same time, it's like the way these contracts work, especially back in the day for TV shows, was if you're a writer, if you're a producer, if you're like all these people in the crew, you're not really making money until those later seasons. So like, who am I to complain that like after season 5, the show wasn't as good anymore? Like these people killed themselves creatively to get to a season 6, 7, 8, 9. And like, God bless them. Let them make their money. It's a hard world. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're drinking, like, I want to put out 20 songs because like it's 20 singles or whatever it is, or I want whatever. And like, not that he's not the richest man on earth, but like, let him do it. It's a rough industry, and just like, whatever, man. Get you put in the work, get your money. I don't care. Who am
I
I to
love
judge
it.
you?
That's a great attitude. I mean, here at Play This at My Funeral, I really try not to judge people's music tastes, and that definitely extends to creative output because it takes a lot to put anything out there. It takes bravery and courage and like getting the fuck over yourself and just like dropping the perfectionism and all that. You do it every day. I'm working on it here at the show, and I think it's a good reminder. God, the licensing has come for me. So I started recording and I would play snippets of all the music, and I was like, oh, I think this is going to work. It's going to be fine. And like Spotify was like, girl, not this song, not this song. And they took down my episodes, and I edited them out because I'm an up and up person.
Interesting, because
I
yeah,
know. On social, you can add.
yeah, of course. TikTok, they don't give a shit. Instagram,
They
they don't
don't
give a shit for the
care.
most part.
They don't
Yeah, it's
care at
interesting
all.
because to me, it's like I guess my brain would work sort of the same way about YouTube. Like if you put up YouTube music, they would just be like, hey, Maroon 5 owns a song. Guess what? You're basically demonetized. Any money this would make, it goes to them, which is fine. Like, that's okay. Like, or like
Right now, I'm
they
not
have the
monetized.
option to take it down, but for the most part, they're just like, whatever. And like, it's, if you put up a full song music video, they're probably going to go after it. If it's a clip, usually places are fine. But it's interesting.
It's interesting because I'm also out here just like, I'm trying to just share your music with more people. But, once who knows what's going to happen in the future? Maybe I'll be able to add some music back in one day. Get the licensing lawyers to do the work for me. This has been a really fun convo and a little walk down memory lane. And I always love, again, watching your food adventures, watching you share about your life, your running, your exercise, your fitness journey, just like living vicariously through you since you're still in New York eating all the best food and traveling the world. But I'm really grateful to spend a little time with you. And if anyone wants to find you, how can they find you?
Just type Jeremy Jacobowitz into anything you want. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Facebook, Snapchat, podcast platform, like Substack, anywhere you want to consume content, I will have content for you.
Jeremy Jacobowitz. It's been such a pleasure having you on, and keep curating the playlist. No, this is for you now. This is only for you. Add Hootie and the Blowfish if you want. It's going to be okay. All right, talk later. Bye. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for being here with us. If you liked the show or loved the show, make sure you hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. And please, please, please rate and review, leave a comment, drop in the notes a new song you discovered that you loved or the song or songs you want played at your own funeral. I'm so happy to have you listening, but also you can follow along on more across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc. at Play This at My Funeral podcast. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to my editor and co-producer, Alice Marcondes. And I'm just going to leave you with this one last thought. Don't be afraid to go deep. Dance every chance you get. And always keep it real. Thanks for listening. Bye.